What's up, people? It's late December here in Louisiana, and we are going for a check of our crawfish traps to see if it's time to start crawfishing. I don't know, about a 2-night set on this run. I actually ran a few of the traps already. You can see I ran a few just to kind of get an idea if we had anything that was going to be worthwhile running the whole pond. And there's definitely a few in there. So I'm going to take you along. I'm going to go run them. We got us about 60 traps total in here. And if we can catch about 20 pounds, I think that'll be kind of the enough past break even that'll be worth our efforts. So always a good sign when you can see the trap vibrating a little bit. Not too bad. Got 10 crawfish in there. I got this nice little jet sled for Christmas. See how that works out. I think we'll be able to fit 3 bushel baskets and 2 bait buckets at a time in there. That thing will probably work out pretty good. At least for this little pond where I don't necessarily need a whole 10 sacks of crawfish at a time. I think if we're catching 2 or 3 sacks out of here in a run, we'd be doing really good. Oh yeah. Not too bad. Nice size ones too. And I'm not going to reset them. I want to let the crawfish, I want to evaluate the quality of the crawfish and then see what the size looks like and maybe let them grow a little bit, a couple more weeks before we really get going. Good bit, but very mixed size. We got everything from jumbo to barely big enough to get caught. Let's see. Kind of see the two extremes. We got big old, it's actually a white river crawfish, a big old giant crawfish, and kind of barely big enough to get caught in a trap. You can see the difference in size there. It's substantial. So we want more like this, less like this. So we may give them a little bit longer before we really start harvesting. Yeah, a few less, 4 or 5. Getting somewhere. Really want that bushel basket about halfway full. I think would be about what we need to catch in this pond to be profitable. And this is what you don't want to see. This trap's flipped over. Could have been a bird, an otter, a mink, who knows. But you see how that crawfish is bit in half. So it could be a big turtle or something, I don't know. Hopefully we don't get too many traps flipped over. In our back pond, I had a bunch of traps flipped over. We're not gonna check it today because they flipped almost all of them. And we set some traps. We call it a mink. We caught an otter. I see a bunch of beaver sign. A bunch of turtles. I don't know what, we're gonna have to do a little bit of pest control in that pond. Not bad. See, our next trap, we got another trap flip. So usually when they're kind of sporadic flip like this, not too many, it's birds or turtles or maybe a raccoon. When otter gets in your pond, he'll flip like 50 of them in one night. Yeah, same thing. I see crawfish bit up. So I don't know what we got in this pond, but we're gonna have to figure it out. Crawfish full of eggs in this one. Let's see, where'd she go? Yeah. See, we got a painted devil crawfish that's full of eggs. Not a very desirable species. See, I got those fat claws. Their tail doesn't have much meat. You see, she's all full of eggs. We'll separate her, but we're gonna take her out of the pond. Just from what I'm seeing, I think we will come in a little bit under target. So I see a lot of little ones that are too small to get caught in the pond. Or I see them in the pond that are too small to get caught in the trap. So I'm thinking a few more weeks of warm weather will probably be where we need to be. Oh, I almost took a spill. These are kind of small. It's weird how one trap will have all certain size. And those are all kind of small. Some of them have all nice ones. Keep going. Tell you one thing for certain, I'm walking this deep water with boots, dragging a sled. Good exercise. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Every trap was like that, we would be where we want. 15 really nice crawfish. Probably close to a pound. You can literally hear that trap shaking with crawfish. Look at it, jeez. Oh yeah. Yeah, sled gets an A+ compared to I don't know if any of y'all ever drug a number 3 foot tub through the swamp. Sled's a million times easier. I mean, it's a pretty swamp too. This is the pond I made basically 2 years ago. It's the first year we were really able to crawfish it. Last year, it wasn't quite deep enough and wasn't quite enough water to really run for crawfish. Only had a few spots I could get traps. This summer I worked on it a little bit more. Got it opened up. We already had a decent crawfish population in it because of the year before. So we flooded it actually a little late this year because I was still working on the levee. But I think we got it just in time where we didn't lose too much of the brood that was underground. And you can see it's early season, it's still December. And I think we got enough crawfish to justify running this pond if the weather stays nice. Every trap's got about, I guess we're averaging close to about 10 or 15 crawfish of mixed quality. Instead of 1.5 of a bushel basket, we're about 1/4 of one now. Hopefully we keep catching. I know when I did a fewer number of test traps, this side the pond I started on definitely caught better than the other half was didn't really have water last year, so I'm guessing there weren't as many in the ground over there. So we'll see how the catch rate continues. Not too shabby. But yeah, my son Levi and my nephew Luke, I let them come run the test traps the other day. They brought home about 10 pounds and we cooked them up. They're fired up. I think they're ready to start making some money. Oh yeah. Not giant size yet, but I don't think that's too unusual for this time of year. I think we got probably an average of medium. We could weigh a few pounds and count them and see. We're getting close to that 15 crawfish per pound. Still got a few old crawfish coming out the ground. You saw how dark red that one was. Most of these are very light colored. And that means they're fresh molting. Look at that. Got us a painted devil. And see, this is one that came out the ground. It hasn't molted since it came out. And you can just see the contrast and how dark red black it is compared to these other ones. There's another painted devil, and she's full of eggs too. Ooh, she almost got me. Yeah, I don't know why we got so many of these, but they're not really good. We don't want to have too many of those in here when we're selling them. Not as good at eating quality. Oh yeah, small ones in this one though. Now the boys, when they ran the test traps, they told me, they said these traps out in the open, where I had scraped all the topsoil off with the tractor, they said these traps didn't have anything in them, this outer row. We'll see if we caught anything on this set. I see some juveniles. Ooh, almost caught him. See, I got 3 big female painted devils. We're gonna just dump these in here. We're gonna use those for otter bait. Can hear them in this one. Not bad. 5 or 6. Same. Not setting the world on fire, but we're gonna fill a pot. Definitely see less juveniles in this side of the pond. Traps are catching all right. Another trap that's just vibrating with crawfish. Some big ones. We got a trap that's flipped over. So I think that's the 4th trap that's been flipped. So I definitely got a raccoon or a big turtle or something in here. But then any of y'all that watch my channel know how much I love these things. Nice big clump of oyster mushrooms. Ooh, and they got some on the other side. Oh yeah. I'm coming back with a bag. I'm gonna get some of those. Yeah, it's a dead tallow tree. That's the tree I find the most oyster mushrooms in. Whatever it was, ate all but one of my crawfish. Always something. Finally caught one of them little juveniles. You can see how little it is. But it does not take one this long to get from this size up to the size of these ones in this basket. They just got to molt probably 2-3 times over the course of 4 or 6 weeks, and he'll be ready to catch. About another month. And another flip trap. Alright y'all, we just finished running those 60 traps. We had about 8 or 10 that were flipped. And I don't know if we got quite the 20 pounds, but I think we got 15 or 18. We got about 1/3 of a bushel basket. So we'll see. We'll take them home. I think I'm gonna go ahead and boil these. We got kind of some mixed size, but I think the average is definitely nice enough to eat and sell, and we just want to cook the first few and make sure we don't have a bunch of empty tails or poor quality crawfish before we start selling them. But definitely mixed on the size. We do have some really big ones. You see how big that crawfish is. That's no joke right there. This is kind of the minimum size we want to be selling. This is probably those 18-ish to a pound, something like that. Very good eating size. And we had a bunch of them painted devils. Let's put them down on the bottom here. And we're actually going to use those around our mink traps, bait for mink. Let's see what we can do.